Welcome students. In this video we will discuss goods and services tax, that means GST. What is GST? As you know the full form, goods and services tax. It is a type of indirect tax which is levied on goods and services. Now first you know what is indirect tax. The taxes which we pay on purchase of goods and services and which we know pay unknowingly, that means indirectly to the government. That means whenever we purchase any good or service, we are giving some price, and in the price of that good only the tax is also included. That is called indirect tax. Direct taxes are taxes paid on income, that means salary income or business income or any other income, or taxes paid by companies on their profits. These are direct taxes in which we declare our income and we pay directly tax to the government on the income. Now coming to indirect taxes, earlier we had many indirect taxes like VAT, sales tax, excise duty and many more taxes. So all these taxes have been merged into one tax which is called GST or goods and services tax. Now it came into effect from 1st July 2017, passed in the parliament on 24th March 2017. So from July 1, 2017 we are having GST and we are accounting for GST also. So in this video we will discuss about the theories regarding GST, because in examination you will only have theories, not any practical question from GST. Now taxes merged into GST. What are the taxes which were merged? Service tax, excise duty, central sales tax. These are the taxes or central taxes which are merged into GST. So earlier it happened that central government also took taxes, and in some goods the state government also took taxes. So these are merged into GST. What are the state level taxes? Earlier which was taken by the state government, and now it is merged into GST. So octroi and entry tax. So whenever goods enter into a states, the states used to charge octroi and entry tax, then purchase tax, entertainment tax, VAT, luxury tax and taxes on lottery. All these have now merged into GST. Now what are the different rates of GST? These are 5 slabs of GST, or there are 5 slabs of GST. For essential items like milk, food items, food grains, there is no GST, so it comes under 0% slab. For common use items, there is 5% GST. So many kitchen items, these are having 5% GST, or essential items also. Standard rate is 12%, for example clothes. Then maximum goods and all standard rate. In maximum goods including electronic goods and many more goods, the rate is 18%, and in luxury items and tobacco the rate is 28%. So these are the taxes rates of GST. GST is paid on purchase of goods and services. So whenever you purchase any good and service, you have to pay GST. And as a businessman, if you sell goods to the customers, you have to collect GST. Suppose you are a businessman selling goods to customer worth rupees 1000, you have to take additional amount as GST. So suppose the rate of GST is 12%, on 1000 it will be 120. So you will charge 1120 in total. So 120 will go to the government as tax and 1000 will be charged by you. Now GST paid is set off against GST collected. When we purchase, we pay GST, and when we sell, we collect GST. And at the end of the year, the balance amount is actually paid to the government. So suppose a businessman pays GST worth rupees 10,000 in a year and collect GST of rupees 15,000 in the year, at the end of the year he will pay 5,000 as tax to the government because 10,000 GST was already paid at the time of purchase. So any GST paid at the time of purchase will be deducted from GST collected. So it is not a cost to the purchaser, it is an asset. So whenever you have GST paid at the time of purchase, it is an asset for the purchaser because it can be set off against sales or it can be deducted against sales. So any GST collected is not any income, it is actually a liability. So suppose you as a shopkeeper have collected GST worth rupees 120 from the customer, this is a liability because you have to pay that 120 to the government as tax. Some important notes: usually GST paid on purchase is not a cost, it is an asset. Similarly, for sales it is a liability. In certain cases GST paid cannot be set off. Now in some cases we cannot set off the GST because we will not sell that item which we have purchased. In case of goods, when we have paid GST at the time of purchase of goods from the wholesaler, that can be set off against sales because the same goods will be sold and GST will be collected. But in some cases you will not sell those goods but use that good, so you cannot set off any GST, so it will be cost to the purchaser. So these are some examples: food and beverages expenses, payment for health insurance, payment for membership fee of club, health and fitness center, repairs and maintenance of building, purchase of vehicles, free gift to staff, payment for goods and services for personal use. So the customers who are not into business or the businessman, if he or she purchases goods as a customer, so suppose a businessman has purchased furniture for his office and that furniture is meant for use, not for sale. So suppose the furniture is of rupees 1000 and GST is paid rupees 120, the cost of the furniture considered will be rupees 1120 because 120 cannot be set off since the furniture cannot be sold. So in such a case, the GST paid will be added to the cost of the good or service. Now GST paid is reversed or credited in following cases: purchase return. So when you have purchased, GST is paid, so GST is debited, but when you return the goods, GST will be credited. Goods taken by the proprietor, that means for personal use, if suppose goods worth rupees 1000 are purchased for sale and out of those goods worth rupees 100 are used by the proprietor for personal use, the amount of GST paid on rupees 100 will be credited because now you cannot sell those goods and collect GST on that. So on 100 rupees, 12% rupees 12 will be credited when there is drawings. So accordingly we will pass journal entries and credit the amount of GST in case of drawings. Goods lost or stolen. Now goods are lost and thus the goods which were earlier purchased for sale now will not be sold. So what will happen? We have to credit the GST earlier we have debited. Similarly, goods destroyed or not sellable, goods distributed as free samples, goods given away as charity or gift, these things will not be sold and neither any GST will be collected, so that amount will be credited. And following goods and services are exempt from levy of GST. Payment of wages and services. Whenever you pay wages and services to the employee, no GST will be paid to the government along with it. Supply of services to government or embassies of other countries. Electricity and water bills, we don't have any GST. Education services also we don't have any GST. Health services, traveling expenses and interest. In these cases, no GST is paid along with this. Characteristics of GST. GST is a comprehensive indirect tax. It is a comprehensive tax because it is a combined tax of many taxes. That is why it is called comprehensive tax, because now many types of duties like custom duty, local octroi, all these things have merged into a single tax. Uniform GST rates. This is the second characteristics. There are uniform rates across all the states and union territories. So whichever good has a rate of 12%, that particular good will have the same rate of 12% across every state. So in Delhi also the rate will be 12% on that. In Jharkhand or Madhya Pradesh or any other state, the rate will be same for that particular good. GST is not paid on a cost. Paid is not a cost. Now whenever you pay GST along purchase or at the time of purchase, it is not added to the cost, but it is a asset. It is an asset because it will be set off at the time of sale, but only in case of purchase meant for sale. In case of purchase meant for consumption, it will be a cost. GST is a value added tax. It is a value added tax because it is calculated on the particular value that has been generated. A purchase, for example, he purchases goods for rupees 1 lakh and sells the same to be for 1,50,000, and the GST rate is 12%. Now what will happen in this example? At the time of purchase, Mr. A had paid 12% on 1 lakh rupees, that is 12,000, but he sold the goods for rupees 1,50,000. So collected 12% of 1,50,000, that is 18,000. So what amount is paid to the government as tax? This is 80,000 minus 12,000, that is equal to 6,000. So we will also learn the general entries about these. What are the objectives or advantages of GST? The cost of goods will decrease since tax is eliminated in GST regime. Now what is happening that earlier on the same goods taxes were collected many times. For example, at the time of purchase, excise duty was charged. Then when they were transported to the states or different states, octroi or entry tax were charged. Then at the time of sale, it was sales tax which was charged. So now it will only be GST which will be charged. So many taxes will be removed, and thus the cost of the good will decrease. Ease of doing business. Now multiple types of indirect taxes will not be there, and along with multiple types of taxes, multiple rates will also be not there. But earlier it happened that in different types of taxes there were different types of rates. So the businessman had to remember what is the excise duty rate, what is sales tax rate, what is service tax rate, and there was confusion among the businessmen also. This confusion has been removed because there are only 5 rates of GST, and moreover the rates of these type of taxes were different in different states also. So a businessman, when selling the goods to Delhi, a different rate was to be paid by him. When the same goods were sold in Madhya Pradesh, Bihar or Jharkhand, the different rates were paid by him. So this type of confusion now has been removed. Developing common national market. GST is levied at the same rate on similar goods and services across all states and union territories. For example, electronic goods sold across India are levied at rate of 18%. It has developed common national market. Now, with the help of this rate, a common market has been established across the country, because in different states now there will not be a different rate. Now, reduction in tax evasion. GST is collected and administered through computer system. So whenever you will purchase goods from the wholesaler will have to electronically record the GST paid and send the statement to the government at the time of filing tax return. And similarly, you also have to take a GST registration number as a businessman, and then you have to be paid. So whenever the wholesaler will pay goods to you, your GST number will also be written on that, and at the time of payment he will send the information to the government that I have sold the goods to this retailer having this GST number, and with the help of that GST number, government authorities can know whether you have paid the GST or not. Now goods becoming cheaper as many indirect taxes were removed. Now the goods have become cheaper and more taxes are not collected, attracting foreign investment. Now since many foreign countries are also habituated with GST, in which GSTs were introduced earlier, now they are having easiness to do business in India because they already know the types of rates of taxes, how to collect GST, how to pay GST. So it is easy for them to do business in India, and thus foreign companies are investing in India. And last, GST tax system is more transparent, regular and predictable. Now tax or types of tax under GST, very important, rather most important topic of the chapter. There are three types of tax under GST. What is first? First is central GST or CGST. So this GST will go to the central government, so it is called CGST. Second is state GST or SGST, or if it is not a state, it will be UTGST, that means Union Territory GST. So GST actually what happens, suppose a person sell goods to another person, the 50% of the total tax collected will go to the central government and 50% will go to the state government. So suppose here example is also given, a dealer of Rajasthan sell goods to dealer in Rajasthan. So whenever goods are sold within the same state in which you are having business, you will have to charge CGST and SGST. And what will happen? Goods worth rupees 50,000 are sold, rate is 12%. So 12% of 50,000 is 6,000. Out of the 6,000, 3,000 will be CGST. That means 3,000 will go to the central government and 3,000 will go to the state government. It will be SGST. So this is about central GST and state GST. Now third type is integrated GST or IGST. It is called integrated GST because it is collected once by the central government, because it is a business between two states. Suppose there is interstate sales. So when there is a sale between one state and another state, in that case CGST and IGST is not collected. It will be CGST and SGST is not collected. It will be IGST, and entire amount will go to the central government. For example, a dealer of Rajasthan sell goods to dealer in Madhya Pradesh worth rupees 50,000 and the rate of GST is 12%. In this case, entire rupees 6,000 will go to the central government and it will be called IGST. So these are the three types of GST: CGST, SGST and IGST. Now GST collected under IGST is now divided between the central government and state government as per rate specified by the government. Reverse charge. Certain purchase of goods and services are placed under reverse charge. Reverse charge means GST is not charged by seller, but it is paid by purchaser to the government and claim it as input GST. Goods and services placed under reverse charge are purchase of goods and services by registered dealer from unregistered person, payment of fee to lawyers, use of copyrights, transport of goods, insurance commissions. So you cannot reverse them or collect GST against them. Now what are the accounting procedures or accounting? In case of intra-state means within the state. When there is a purchase within the state, what happens? It will be purchase account debited, then input CGST account debited, input SGST account debited to bank or creditor's account. So suppose purchase is worth rupees 10,000 and rate of GST is 12%. It will be purchase account debited 10,000 and CGST out of 12%, 6% to CGST. So it will be rupees 600. Input SGST will also be 600. Total is 1200. So 10,000 plus 1200. To bank account, it will be 11,200. Or if it is a credit purchase, it will be to creditor's account 11,200. For sale of goods, whenever there is sale of goods, it is bank account debited or debtors account debited, because we will be receiving the amount. Suppose same is the amount of sale 10,000, so it will be bank account or debtor account debited 11,200, to sales account 10,000, to output CGST 600, to output SGST 600. And in case of purchase return, suppose you had purchased goods and now you have returned some goods. In that case, creditor account will be debited, and along with GST which was paid by you, that will also be debited to that creditor. So if you return goods worth rupees 1,000, what will happen? Creditor account will be debited 1,000 plus 12%. That means 1120. And to purchase return 1,000, and to input CGST half of the amount, and input SGST half of that amount. Now why are input CGST and input SGST credited at the time of purchase return? Simply because at the time of purchase they were debited, and now since they will not be sold, so whatever GST you had paid, that will be reversed. So it will be credited to the creditor, debited to the creditor. For sales return, just opposite of that. In case a debtor returns goods to us, the GST that we had collected from the debtor, we will credit the amount to that debtor. So we will clearly understand these things when we will pass journal entries and solve some practical questions. Now purchase of fixed asset. Fixed asset, suppose furniture account debited, input CGST debited, input SGST debited. So in this case we cannot claim any GST because they will not be set off. For expenses also, expense account debited, input CGST account debited, input SGST because these are purchases of goods. For income, for example, commission received. So in this case we are receiving any amount for services. So bank account debited to commission received, and along with commission we will also receive GST on that commission, and that amount we will pay to the government. So since we are receiving, it will be output CGST and output SGST. And whenever goods are withdrawn by the proprietor for personal use, as we discussed, drawing account will be debited to purchase account. So this is a simple entry we have learnt in general entry, but in case of GST, drawing account debited to purchase, to input CGST and input SGST. So whatever amount of GST that was paid at the time of purchase of that good, that will also be added and debited to drawings account. So see, if goods worth rupees 1,000 are withdrawn for personal use, so it will be 1,000, suppose the rate is 10%, so 1,000 plus 10%, it is 100. So drawing account will be debited 1100 to purchase account, 1,000 to input CGST 50 and input SGST 50. Similarly, for goods given as free samples or loss of goods due to fire or they are stolen, in all these cases we will have to credit the GST that we had earlier paid. So advertisement account debited to purchase account, to input CGST, to input SGST. Similar for loss by fire or loss by theft. Now for setting up GST, output CGST account debited. So in total in the year, suppose you have collected GST worth rupees 15,000, so output CGST to input CGST, so whatever amount is balance, that is set off. Then for setting of input SGST, again output SGST, so whatever SGST has been collected to input SGST, so lesser amount will be taken. So if the SGST collected is 10,000, SGST paid is 8,000, so it will be 8,000. So output SGST 8,000 to input SGST 8,000, and remaining 2,000 will be paid. And last very important entry, output CGST account debited, output SGST account debited to bank. So suppose the balance amount in CGST remaining is 5,000 and balance amount in SGST is 2,000. So 5 plus 2 is 7,000. The amount will be paid to bank account rupees 7,000. So for better understanding, we will understand with the help of questions after the examinations. Till then, you go through these theories and go through theory questions related to GST. Thank you.